Hey, what's up, Peace?
There is a tour where we're going.
Oh, you know what's cool about it?
I just want to say a few words. I put it up on Good evening to all of you.
Everybody get it in.
I'm not making a speech, I'm just making only one statement. And I just want to let you know that the new generations of Egyptians and Arabs understand very well that Americans are people of peace. And we can live together. And anyone who is trying to hide this fact, we need them to get exposed, whether it is from some who do not understand our faith very well in our country, and also those from the administration here. So there is some work from us and some work from you. But the reality is, it is very, very possible we can live together. War consumes, but peace builds. Peace to all of you. Thank you.
I want you to pay close attention here. This is called a bringing up the equipment thing. So we're going to just pause for a second. Next up there will be Sherry Hankala.
Yeah, the people serve. Yeah, yeah.
And before we bring her up, we want to get some of this equipment up so that there's no interruptions. So talk amongst yourselves, right?
How many people have been sitting down for a long time? Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. I am a yoga instructor amongst other things. So I want everyone to bring your hands up. Namaste. Everyone bring your hands up. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist, and lean to the left. Lean to the opposite of me. No. Lean to the left, to the opposite of me. Come back up. Palms together. Lean back. A nice back bend. Inhale, come up. With your right hand, take your left wrist. And lean to the right, opposite of me. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bring your arms out here. Inhale, fold forward from the hips. From the hips. All the way down. Inhale, come all the way back up. Grab your hand. With your left wrist, left hand, grab your right wrist. And lean to the left, opposite of me. Inhale, back up. Put your palms together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, roll back. A nice back bend.
Actually, right here.
Inhale,
They're all right.
forward. Exhale, inhale. With your right hand, grab your left wrist. And lean to the left, the right. Lean to the right, opposite of me. Inhale, come up. Take your hands out to the side. Everyone now, roll your arms. Roll your arms forward. Roll your arms forward. Now make that circle bigger. Make it bigger. Make it bigger. Now do just the opposite. Reverse, bigger. Smaller. Smaller. Cut this out. Make your hands facing left. Put your hips. Inhale. Turn to the right. Keep your hips forward. Turn to the right. Bring that left shoulder forward. Right shoulder back. Keep the hips forward. Inhale. Come forward. Exhale. Turn to the left. Again. Left shoulder back. Right shoulder forward. Inhale. To the center. Now, in balance. Let's see if you can do tree pose. Think now. Here we go. We take your right foot. Right foot. Put it to your ankle. That's as far as you can go. That's okay. You can go farther. Bring it to your calf. In balance. If you can farther, you have the flexibility in your jeans. Bring it up above your knees. You're there. If you have farther, bring your arms up. Tree pose. Bring your arms down. Relax your legs. To the other side. If you only took it to your ankle, stay on your ankle. If you took it to your calf, take it to your calf. You can bring it all the way up. Bring it all the way up. Go. Bring your hands up. Bring your hands up. Look at all the yogis out there. Woo! Hands down. Hands down. Namaste. Now on Monday, I want you all to go out to your local yoga studio. We need a dolly at the Food Not Bombs tent. A dolly at the Food Not Bombs tent.
Announcement. We need water, folks. I think y'all know that we have not been successful in getting a water buffalo here. We were not able to get a permit. I've been round and round with them this morning. But there is not going to be a constant source of potable water. So what we need is for people to get together and try and solicit deliveries of water or bring water, but ask people to send us water. I've gotten a few cases myself.
It was amazing. I was shocked.
Please ask people to have water delivered here and sent to us, and friends to bring their own water bottles. It's not the way we wanted to do it. It's not ecological. It's opposed to our values, but we really don't have much choice at this point. Thanks.
You're a player.
This card, AM 1480, WPWC,
It's a what rat?
Juicy rat.
Oh, yeah.
We can stand up to the banks in corporate America because we are good people in this country and because we believe in a cooperative society and because our movement is based on love and a care for each other, and we're going to take our country back. God bless each and every one of you.
We have a special guest. I gotta tell you, this man was an inspiration to me. Back in 1971, I went to see this man speak. First he had me laughing, then he talked about the political realities of change, what you have to do change. If you want to do change, you can't do drugs. If you want to do change, you got to get out in the street. You got to join with your brothers and sisters to make change happen. I'm really pleased to introduce Dick Gregory.
Thank you, brother. Let me say first, thank you for the person that we made it here safe.
Oh, they can. Very easily. Very easily. You know? Because I paid that modification. Because they offered me a modified lien for viewing.
People ask me, they say, you look so well. How do you know you're getting old? Let me tell you, young folks, you know when you're getting old. When somebody compliments them, you alligator shoes you wear and you laugh.
You were right. Thanks.
I've been in all over the world. This one is different. Don't let the major news media define who you are. They need to buy your ticket.
You're really missing out. These are all your people.
And you got here without the help of the establishment. While we are here, a bulletin just came through right down the street. President Obama endorsed what you all are doing here. That's who you are. And remember, you got to think. And that's what's good about you youngsters. You're not bringing old baggage. I mean, I had just about been convinced that all Negroes look alike to white folks. I believe that until President Obama got elected, and I've had no white people walk up to me and say, "Excuse me, Mr. President." What they can't deal with is a friendly face. They can't lie on you. You didn't come from Mars. You didn't come from different places around the world that hate America. You are homegrown American children. Yeah! They didn't suspect you to get here. Now they sitting around saying, how long y'all gonna stay? Well, in the ghetto, we say, how long your mama gonna stay? And look at this crowd before you leave here. And look at the beauty and the kindness and the honesty and the peace. And all you have to remember is a little turtle.
Rupert died.
A little turtle here was here during the
About a
dinosaurs.
half hour ago.
They outlived the dinosaurs.
Okay.
They don't walk fast. And all you have to do is be a turtle. Hard on the outside, soft on the inside, and willing to stick your neck out. you've already won. Because you're giving people hope that didn't have no hope. People say, well, what about the Tea Party? This is the Tea Party. This is the real one. This is the one that comes close to the one in Boston. We're not coming here with no axes to grind. We come here to change a system. And as I leave you today, I say to you, Martin Luther King, personal friend of mine, he wasn't killed because of racism. He wasn't killed because of segregation. He wasn't killed because hateful, mean, bitter white folks. He was killed because he became the first black person in the history of America to get in a position to determine public policy. And I say to you today, here, across this country, in New York City, you are fixing to change public policy. And they can't kill that. And just remember that. We're not here arguing with no police. We're not here arguing with Democrats and Republicans. We are above that. They're not the problem. They have to do what Wall Street and the super rich tell them to do. But what makes us so powerful, we didn't have to get permission from them to be here. And as I leave, can we have a soft, quiet minute for one of the greatest civil rights warriors, Dr. Fred Shuttlesworth, who died yesterday. And let me tell you about Fred Shuttlesworth. When I heard that he died yesterday, I smiled. Because those of us that's in the forefront of that movement, we very seldom died from natural causes. So Brother Fred died from natural causes yesterday. And had he not been there, we wouldn't have that black man in the White House. One person. And let me leave you with this. Don't worry about if you get your name in the paper, or if you get your name on the radio or TV. When that universal God force pick you, it leaves no footprints. Thank you.
Dennis Traynor, Jr. is the founder and creative director of No Cure for That. And he's hailed as one of the most prominent voices in YouTube politics. His documentary on U.S. foreign policy titled Manifest Destiny's Child was released January of this year. Please welcome Dennis Traynor, Jr. Thank you. If you can hear me in the back, say Occupy! Occupy! If you can hear me in the back, say Occupy! Occupy! If you can hear me in the front, say Occupy! Occupy! If you can hear me, Freedom Plaza, say Occupy! Occupy! Dick Gregory tells us that Barack Obama endorses this action. Yes! Hold on. We will endorse Barack Obama when he disproves Martin Luther King's assertion that the United States of America is the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today. And he brings home all the troops and he redirects all those resources to human and environmental needs. That's what we will endorse Barack Obama. Welcome to Freedom Plaza, everybody. This is a beautiful sight. Greed, as famously defined by Gordon Gekko in Oliver Stone's film Wall Street, is good. Right? That was the 1980s when Ronald Reagan was preaching trickle-down economics while the wealth was being redistributed upwards. Theft. More than 20 years later, a whole generation of Gordon Gekkos have hijacked control of the three branches of government away from we the people to the point where representative democracy is broken. Thank you for coming here to fix it. The people in this plaza and at Occupy Wall Street
And in occupations all over this country are in revolt. Revolt against the greed in all of its manifestations. And people are waking up to the power that they have is a beautiful thing. Now listen. Within shouting distance of Freedom Plaza is K Street. A street lined with lobbyist firms that have bought and sold the people and sent this town to represent us. Let's let them know that we are here. Say it loud. Say Occupy! Occupy! Say Occupy! Occupy! Over my left shoulder down Pennsylvania Avenue, you'll see the Capitol building, where Congress has earned an all-time low approval rating by allowing themselves to be bought and sold. We're going to have to be a little bit louder. It's about 12 blocks. Let's say Occupy! 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 Today, as we enter the second decade, waging war in Afghanistan, and the war on terror continues to spread its tentacles all over the globe, costing lives and resources while we're asked to pay for it by making cuts in the social safety net, we say Occupy! Occupy! Or as Dwight D. Eisenhower said, every gun that's made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies a theft from those who hunger, for a theft from those who are fed, a theft from those who are cold and not clothed. We are here not only to stop the theft that the military war represents from people, in effect imposing sanctions on us, driving record numbers below the poverty line, even as the rich continue to get richer, but to call an end to the foreign policy that can be called nothing less than a blowback-inducing bull in a cultural, religious, and geopolitical China shop. That's what we call today's Manifest Destiny's child. Yes? Surely among the hundreds of thousands or more innocent civilians dead, killed in the name of the expanding American empire, there are at least 19 orphans who will soon be teenagers, ripe for radicalization with nothing left to lose, willing to attack us again. And for what? To give the military-industrial complex an excuse to profit from death and destruction, and then turn over the profits for reconstruction to people like Halliburton? This cycle of murder and reconstruction, all in the name of profits, we say no more, or we say Occupy! Occupy! You know, I'm lucky that I'm able to be here today. I'm one of the few remaining people clinging to the middle class that was able to take time off, and I want to let you know, I'm not going home Sunday. I am here until it is done. We are here. But for those who can't be here, know that I and all of you are standing in their place. We're standing in the place for so many more who cannot be here. For my family member, who's like 1 in 4 homeowners hold underwater mortgages, I say that group is too big to fail. Bail them out. For the nearly 50 million people in this country with no access to health care insurance, we say that the Tea Party solution, which is to give them the complete works of Ayn Rand, a shotgun and a pat on the back, is no good. We say that Obama's solution, which is to force them to buy insurance, which is a giveaway to Wall Street healthcare insurance companies on whose panels the real death panels reside, is no good. We say healthcare for all now. To the environmental movement fighting to block the XL pipeline, we stand with you. No pipeline. Green jobs, not black operations. Windmills, not oil spills. To the teachers and other public sector union members who work long for low pay to educate me. And to my father, brothers, aunts, and uncles and cousins who are among the few private sector union members left in this country, fighting not only to maintain the benefits they've worked for the last 60 years to keep, but fighting to keep the very union card in their wallet. I say we are here. We know there's a war being waged with the intention of eliminating unions altogether in this country. We will not have it. We know the rights of the union workers go, so the rights go the rest of us. For the people unjustly imprisoned, for victimless crimes in the war on drugs, we're here for them. For the innocent people that the state puts to death, like Troy Davis, we are here for them. To the people watching at home who say we can't afford, excuse me, say we can't afford the economy, it's horrible, we need to tighten our belt, I would remind you that our military spends more than the next 17 countries combined. We can afford it, stop waging war, start waging peace. And until then, we are putting our elected officials and the corporate vampires that control them on notice. We are here and we are in revolt. Don't be afraid of that word. Don't be afraid of that word. Dr. Cornel West used it when he talked to the people at Occupy Wall Street. We are the 99%. We can do this without violence. We must do this without violence. To the people in Freedom Plaza, in solidarity with Occupy Wall Street and Occupies everywhere, I urge you, assert your will, assert your power. We the people have gathered here and in spaces all across this country in order to form a more perfect union. Today, we are in revolt. Tomorrow, we are in revolt. The day after that, we are in revolt until we are finished. If enough people engage in the verb revolt, it will turn into the noun revolution. And that is what we need. Be patient, be nonviolent. This is a marathon, as Dr. West said. This is not a sprint, but make no mistake, this is the beginning. We are the 99%. You are the revolution. I am the revolution. We are the revolution. Thank you. Amen.
Tomorrow, noon to 1 p.m. at the Ronald Reagan Building's Atrium Hall, right across from Freedom Plaza, there's a rally against the Keystone XL tar sands oil pipeline. The final hearing by the State Department, and you know what they're going to say. You know what they're going to say, right? The final hearing will take place the same place, same date, but from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So tomorrow, Ronald Reagan Building's Atrium Hall, Pennsylvania Avenue, 14th Street, a rally against the Keystone XL tar sands pipeline. If you can be there, be there. Glenn Ford is here. He's the Executive Director of Black Agenda Report. He serves on the steering committee of the Black is Back Coalition. Would you welcome him, Glenn Ford?
Time. Yeah. And it's also time to stop the machine. We're all united in the necessity to stop the machine. So what is this machine that we are so united in trying to stop? It's a war machine. A machine that is prepared to utterly destroy human civilization. It's a machine run by men who can't imagine a world in which they are not in charge. When we say that we can make a new world, they say over our dead bodies and over the bodies of millions of other people. That's why the United States spends more money on weapons of war than all the other nations of the world combined. And when you add NATO, the United States allies, to that mix, it comes to 70% of all the weapons spending on the planet. This war machine has wired the planet for a catastrophic explosion. It holds the world's people hostage in a great terror in order to continue the rule of a very small elite in the United States and in Western Europe. This machine is a racist machine. It was born in the great breakout more than 500 years ago, when Western Europe began its invasions and wars against all of the rest of the people of the world. It was a war against the human species, and that war continues to this very day. Most recently, in the combined assault of Europe and America in the form of NATO against the sovereign North African nation of Libya.
North Atlantic Terrorist Organization.
They are trying to hold on through war to those worldly goods that they won by war over 500 years. That is what they call civilization. But we can and we will make a new world, a new and truly just human civilization. This is a racist machine. It was invented and refined as we know it in the modern world through centuries of military and economic warfare against the non-white inhabitants of this planet. This machine that we speak about, when it was in the making, attempted to transform the rest of the world into beasts, beasts to be sold, beasts of burden, and if they would not bear that burden, they were beasts to be killed. That's why this machine can create the conditions that led to the death of at least 6 million Congolese over the last 15 years. It is a beastly war, racist machine. In the decade before the U.S. Civil War, the value of United States slaves was exceeded only by the value of the land area of the United States. Stolen people and stolen land, most of that land's owners already being dead. That is what comprised the overwhelming dollar value of the United States. And it is on that basis that the world's greatest economic power was built. For those who profited the most, that racist machine was working very well indeed. Shortly after the Civil War, in the 1880s, Europe and the United States formally divided up the entire world among themselves in order to make a more efficient and smoother running machine. Today, the United States is at the helm of that infernal machinery, but the Europeans are still part of its diabolical workings, as we can see today in Libya. The machine is constantly at war at home as well as abroad. The slave trade was war. U.S. chattel slavery was war. In many regions of the South, every able-bodied white man was required to join a militia whose sole duty was to keep the black slaves in check. They almost won the Civil War because of that reason, because they were all veterans of the slave war. The death of Reconstruction and the rise of Jim Crow was a war. It was a kind of retooling of the racist machinery. It was a war of terror. It was a race war, and it lasted nearly a century. It was followed by a counterintelligence and counterinsurgency war against black people in response to the civil rights and black power movements of the 60s. And those wars are still in full swing. We know that these wars are still in full swing because of all the black prisoners who have been taken in those wars. 1 out of every 8 prison inmates in the world is an African American. We know this is a war. The mass black incarceration machine feeds itself every day on the streets of New York, where more than 600,000 stop and frisks are made every year, 85% of them involving blacks and Latinos. And it's even worse in Philadelphia, which is a much smaller city, but has 200,000 stop and frisks every year. So black people on the streets know that we are at war, that the machine is at war with us, and that machine is racist to the core. Who runs this machine? Whose machine is it? It is ultimately run by the same people who run the entire state apparatus of the United States. And those people are comprised of finance capital. We use the word Wall Street for short. They run the state. But at this point in history, they are also now devouring the state. In the United States, finance capital, working through both political parties, at that end of the street and at that end of the street, is methodically dismantling and privatizing every component of the American state except the security apparatus and except those parts of the state that are useful to them in transferring wealth to the financial class. We must always remember that finance capital, Wall Street, makes nothing. It creates nothing, not a damn thing, except money. They believed that they could transfer the work of the world to the south and east of the world, to the low-wage regions of the world, and they thought that they could still retain power in New York and in London and in Paris. But we now know that that was impossible, because human production is power, and natural resources are power when people exert control over their production and over their own resources. And so the non-military power of the United States and Europe diminishes every single day. The global chessboard changes every day, and the imperial powers are left with no option except their militaries. That was why the United States banged its fist on the chess table back in 2003 with its war against Iraq, which was supposed to be a much larger war, which would lead to the seizure of the resources in all that part of Asia. But we also know that they reached too far. I believe that they have also reached too far in Libya, a war that they launched to show who was boss in the world, in that part of the world, after the Arab Spring. It is a war of desperation. In the end, the U.S. and Europe may well find themselves in a situation in which they must attempt to occupy the entire tier of North Africa, and that is a reach too far. Here at home, for the first time in a long time, there is a movement that is growing. This is proof of it today. They will inevitably try to crush this movement. If this movement succeeds in becoming a true coalition of Americans of all ethnicities, it is our job, when that day comes in the United States, to make sure that the machine will have once again reached too far. Power to the people. Yeah.
Glenn Ford. You guys ready for a little entertainment? Hey, while they're setting up, where are they? A couple things real fast. How many people have seen the movie Inside Job? If you haven't, I advise you to go see it if you want to know how we got here, right? The other thing, when was the last time you heard a song of peace on the radio? The radio stations today are owned by corporate America. That's why you don't hear songs like from Pete Seeger, Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, Peter, Paul, and Mary. I'm the coordinator of the Smedley Butler Brigade in Boston, Veterans for Peace. We have put together a music video for peace. I wrote the song on the anniversary of John Lennon's death, December 8th. On December 16th, I was arrested with a bunch of my brothers and sisters at the gates of the White House. Went back and wrote a verse about peace standing at the gate. How many people want to hear a song of peace on the airways? How many people are familiar with YouTube? We weren't able to get the song on the radio stations, so we took a professional film crew into the studio and we recorded the song. Please, Brooke here has some cards. Go to YouTube. Type in, "War is not the answer. Never was, never will." Let me hear you repeat that. War is not the answer. Never was, never will. And send it to everybody you know. Thank you. Mike?
All right, it's time to it's time to dance. Anybody out here like to dance? This band is about to make me go deaf. This band is from St. Paul, Minnesota. It is Junkyard Empire, a politically conscious band, not afraid to tell the truth. Please welcome, and get up and dance, Junkyard Empire.
Yeah, I know, me too. I don't even know what it is. I never even looked. I got it.
We're the people of Iraq. We're the people of Libya. We're all in all. we will uprise. No compromises is the fight next time. My mind is still inclined to form a rhythmic rhyme, but I got insides in my blood that let me break it down each time. I can't digest all that bullshit that they feed me. You think hip-hop is anti-social, you ain't read the graffiti, cause you ignored us like the writing on the Indian treaty. We from the city, needy streets in each American city, where it's gritty, rainy, public school always and never shiny. Police be eyeing me, public policy criminalize me. I kept us in poverty, like a third world resident. Nobody's exempt, not even a brother unaccustomed to rebellion politics. It's rebellion scholarship, science of survival in a repressive environment. Rebellion politics, I consider what you know reality. Corporate capital is the government bringing tolerance to the state. When people create the poverty, the economy triples up to eradicate the poverty. Get up, stand up, these are all demands. We want our question back. Everybody get your hands up. Equal distribution of the land and the profits and the poor and the socialized corruption. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, I need for the 99% to help me out real quick. If you with the 99%, repeat after me. Get up, stand up, these are our demands. What? Get up, stand up, these are our demands. What? Get up, stand up, these are our demands. What? Get up, stand up, these are our demands. What? Get up, stand up, these are our demands. What? Get up, stand up, these are our demands. End these wars. Get up, stand up, these are our demands. What? Stand up, these are our demands. Get up, stand up, these are our demands. Get up, stand up, these are our demands. I got call and response to this one. The response to this track is Rock the Empire. Alright, I'm gonna shout out some stuff, and I need you to say Rock the Empire, y'all. Y'all with me? Yeah. Junkyard Empire in the house. Rock the empire. You want justice? Rock the empire. You want equality? Rock the empire. Then put your fist up. Rock the empire. You want freedom? You want justice? You want equality? Then rock with this song. Yeah, you'll get it by now. Reverse, go back and rewind. The energy of my rhyme, align with chakras in the spine. Intrinsic force of the force, for frequency causes the pulse of my voice. Guide you right back to the source. It's a hieroglyphic specific to certain biorhythmic, Atlantic to Pacific, prolific with linguistic. Your brain fixes on the focal point of my narrative. The lust for cabbage, turn average ones to savages. My battery is shattering, leaders still gathered. Ways more esoteric than the magic of the Vatican. Habits of battery, in the origin of sin. Leave after the fact of matter when they see their face scattering. It's just say that they don't want to rap again. Go home in the back of them, bundle down a hand and get a bite of it. Feelings cut cross-faded. I patiently waited my turn. Now I just gotta go and take this visual risk. Toss you like the distance. Get witness, we the second bunch of hip-hop. You know the scenario. Crank up the stereo. Say Paul to Havana. We be rocking out of stereo. Freedom, rock the empire. You want justice? You want equality? Put the fist up. Rock the empire. It bothers me that rivalry will put the Hungary in prison. My CEO stacking dough just for robbing the pension. Not to mention the attention focused on immigration. Claiming migrant workers for devastating the nation. While the nappy in the Fed manipulating inflation. Still taxation for the poor with no representation. Asphyxiation, the public school education. Overcrowded classrooms, no textbooks. Money cuts, teachers giving best looks. We dealing with some complex work. It's a culture. Democrats, Republicans, two wings of the same vulture. Getting battle the bones of the vulnerable. Now how is that honorable? It's never comical, quite ironical that you never see a chronicle of American human rights violations.
Earlier today, I introduced Margaret Flowers as the heart of October2011.org. I want to introduce the soul right now. His name is Kevin Zeese, longtime social activist, currently director of Come Home America, co-director of itsoureconomy.us, and a core organizer of this event today. Please welcome Kevin Zeese.
Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much. Welcome to corporate occupied territory. It's time for the people to free the country and liberate Washington, D.C. Let's end this corporate occupied territory, huh? And hey, let's rock the empire while we're doing it. Man, they're good. That is hot music. That is hot music. You know, I want to tell you that one of the things that they like to say about us in this Occupy movement is that we're a leaderless movement. In fact, we are a leader-filled movement. We are a leader-filled movement. I'm telling you, we are at the first steps of a movement that will not be stopped. And you are here to be part of those first steps. That makes you a leader. That makes you a leader with responsibilities. With leadership comes responsibilities, and your responsibility is to grow this movement. Your responsibility is to create new leaders. Your responsibility is to stand strong on our issues and not compromise. Not to allow the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the think tanks that are funded by the corporations to get us off message. We need to stay strong and clear and consistent and uncompromising. And that's what our leadership needs, and that's what you all bring to the table. So thank you very much for coming. You know, we decided to pick this day because it's the beginning of the 11th year of a war that never should have started. The war on the Middle East. We used Afghanistan as the first step in the war in the Middle East, and it's still going on today. We've destroyed that country over and over. We've killed civilians wantonly. We're now droning Pakistan. The war has moved into Iraq and Libya. We're seeing now military actions around the globe in the name of American empire. I think it's very important for us to use that word, empire, because it's a word that the media and the politicians never use. The truth is, we are the largest empire in world history. And it's a secret from our own people. People don't even know we're an empire, and yet we're the largest empire in world history. So it's time for us to use that word, use it openly. We have 1,100 military bases and outposts around the world. 1,100 at their peak. The United Kingdom and Rome had 37 bases. We have 1,100. We are the largest empire in history, and it's time for us to bring that out of the closet, let the American people know it, because the reason why, one reason why our economy is in decline is because empire is not good for us. It's not good for our national security, it's not good for our economy, it's not good for the world. It's time for the United States to stop playing the role of empire and start becoming part of the world community. People, you know, wonder why folks haven't been coming out and protesting like they did in Vietnam. In Vietnam, there was the military draft. That made it personal. Now we have something personal in the United States, economic insecurity. It's an insecurity that affects every American except the top 1%. We're all economically insecure. We all know it's because of the misleadership of our government. We all know this very important fact. And if you don't know it, you gotta learn it. The people can rule better than the elites. The people can rule better than the elites. It's critical. It's critical for us to internalize that and be confident about that, because the elites have sent us off an economic cliff. They've sent us into war quagmires, and they're an illegitimate government. This democracy's become a fraud. Less than half of Americans are registered to vote. Less than half of those ever vote. That means a landslide victory is about 15% of the public supporting our president. That's what you call an illegitimate government. We cannot trust that anymore. We need to restore power to the people, and that's what this is about. Shifting power to the people from concentrated corporate wealth. That's what we're here to fight for. You know, they often say about the Occupy movement that they don't know what we stand for. What we stand for is very clear. It's why they're on Wall Street. It's why we're on K Street. It's why we're in Washington, D.C. What we want is an end of corporate rule. End corporate rule. 3 words. End corporate rule. Anyone ask you what does it stand for? End corporate rule. And it's not just the rule of our government. It's the takeover of universities by concentrated corporate power. It's the takeover of the media by concentrated corporate power. Our major institutions are being undermined by corporate rule, and we want to be here to end it. We want to free D.C. Liberate D.C. as corporate occupied territory. It starts here, it starts now, and you are part of it. I'm going to have just a couple more points. We got a lot to do this afternoon. I want to tell you, we're not going at this with no strategy, without thinking this through, without a plan to succeed. We are in this to succeed. We're in this to shift power. We're not here just to have a nice day out in the sun, hear some great music, see some great people. We're here to change this country, to transform this country. We've looked at decades of how regimes change, and the regime of corporatism needs to change here. The way regimes change is you give power to those with too little power, and you take power from those with too much power. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to give power to the powerless and take power from the powerful. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that by breaking the pillars on which this government's built. The military's already stretched thin. People in the military are already opposed these empire walls. The police who are here today protecting our First Amendment rights, they're having their salary held back so they can have health insurance. Workers are having their unions taken away from them, their wages dropped, income is now down from 10 years ago. We're losing our income, we're losing our middle class. The people are in revolt. The youth of this country are in particular revolt for a very good reason. They are in more debt than any generation before them. More debt than ever. It's time for us to develop a plan to forgive college debt. So we look at these pillars, we're going to weaken them. We are weakening them. Your presence here is weakening them. The fact that everyone here has the capacity to be the media makes us a democratized media that can overtake the corporate media. We can be the media, we can be the message, we can be the change. We don't have to rely on a leader. We are the people, and the people will make the change. Okay, let me close by saying this is the first phase of a large campaign. What you see here today is magnificent, but when you come back in a few years, it's going to be 10 times the size of this. It's going to be much bigger, it's going to be unstoppable, and you are all going to help make it happen. We are all going to help make it happen. We're going to work together to create a movement that cannot be ignored, that cannot be stopped, that they can no longer stop from making the change that we all want. We see the need. End corporate power, starting now. Thank you all very much. All right, we have 2 more things we're going to do today that are really in the afternoon that are important. The first one is we're going to be taking a picture which Jody Evans will explain about. You can see a camera up there. We're going to do a 99% picture in the back. After we do that, we're going to do a march down to 15th Street, across to the White House, to the Chamber of Commerce. We're going to shut the Chamber of Commerce down. The Chamber of Commerce is the corporate bully of Washington, D.C. They corrupt our elections. They corrupt our government. They say climate change is good for us. They are a group that we're going to shut down today, so you're going to join us with that. Then we're going to go to K Street. We're going to line K Street with signs to let the city know we have arrived. Let me now introduce first, though, Jody Evans and Medea Benjamin from Code Pink. We're going to describe our next step, which is the 99% formation.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you everyone for being here. Yay! All right, now we're going to use our bodies. So we want to move to the back of the square. John Quigley, who's done the famous aerial images that you've seen from South America to the North Pole for human rights, justice, and to save the environment, is back there with the image. There are team members to put you into the image. Well, above, we've
we've got network cameras that will take it, and we from DC are going to spell 99% with our bodies for the globe. And then Medea's going to lead you into the next piece.
So we're going to go do that back there. There will be obviously people who want to stay here, and that's great. We need people to keep the square. But those of you who are going to join the march will be marching out across the Treasury, the White House, up to the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce has a big sign on it that says jobs. We're going to give you out some forms if you would like a job. And we're going to ask the Chamber to provide some jobs. And if they won't, we're going to ask them to take that big sign down because that's false advertising. The Chamber is not providing jobs. So we got a lot to do. Please make your way towards the back right now. Bring your signs because after the image we're going to take off right from there and start marching. Thank you.
We're having this conversation together, all of us. We're in this together. I was walking that way, but I said, walk with me, excuse me. What am I doing? It's really not about me. I'm just preaching the gospel of Jesus. Amen.
Well, you're trying to you should have got him on stage.
And it's not about me. It's about Jesus. Jesus is the gospel that is sold. It's all about Jesus. Jesus the Christ. God bless you. What do you think Jesus would say about the 99%?
He probably would love it.
I don't know. Everybody. What do you think Jesus would say about what did Jesus say about
So you're wrapped up. How is it? Well, I will tell you now. Yeah, but it was considered kind of, they were really considered so wacky, you know. The mockery.
I'm trying to ask the best way to get switch on your shit. It's like, okay, who are you? What are you about, man? Like, relate it. The 99% is everybody, you know what I mean? The conversation could be had if people would leave them alone long enough. Like, if one person approaches and just,
brother against the brother, daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. What this man wants to know, what would it take for silence? What would it take? This man would want to,
in many ways, made it worse, even though we can't quite do
what would it take to silence this megaphone? Is it money? Is it dollars? Is it a gun? Silence this megaphone.
I'm asking because you were already there and I didn't want to
Everybody inside the image needs to back up so we have a frame, please. Thanks, guys.
This sign needs to get, no?
We can put the sign over there.
Put it sideways maybe here. It's gonna, can you pick that sign and put it on your lap? Or she can put it on her lap. It's just trying to make a nine. Okay, you guys are looking good. You guys are awesome. Come on, let's do this line. Okay, you need to go away. Scoot all the way. Shoulder to shoulder.
Protest anything in the profession of professing. It's all about Jesus.